Hello and welcome to the British Dapper, and today we're talking about the popularity of the overshirt. Now recently I did a video on the 10 essential items for autumn and winter, and whilst I was going through the comments, one of my regulars made a comment about the Pendleton board shirt, and he said that he loves his. He's over the years collected quite a number of them, and it's one of his go-tos in the winter and cold periods. And he said that the Americans loved them, and so that made me think about the overshirt, because in the UK at the moment they're very popular. They have been for a number of years, but certainly from recent visits to local stores, they seem to be very popular at the moment and easy to wear in a casual setting. But if we go back into the history of the overshirt, that might help you understand where the history of this shirt begins, because whilst we all accept it's not a formal shirt, it's not a formal way of dressing. You wouldn't wear it under a suit, and you certainly wouldn't wear it over a suit. So therefore it's not that type of shirt. What we're talking about here is a casual shirt, something that would be worn in a casual setting. But the reason why I'm covering it is because it's a step away from jeans, t-shirts and hoodies, and it is a way of stepping up the sartorial ladder just one run at a time. So for example, we're going up one notch from wearing the hoodies and those jeans. So for example, you might wear the overshirt, but you might wear it over a roll neck jumper. You might wear it with a pair of chinos and a pair of chukka boots, and you might layer it up with something else like a jumper. So it's very adaptable in that way, and it takes you away from that everyday jeans, t-shirt and hoodie look, and it does take you to a different level, a different area, to start dressing more sartorially, even in a casual setting. So I suppose when we look at the origins or the start of what we'd consider to be an overshirt, this goes back into the 1800s, believe it or not, and it was a form of workwear where French railway workers and engineers start to introduce this cotton over jacket, more of a jacket than a shirt, to be fair, and they start to change their overalls to cut them off at the waist, so you ended up with a jacket effect where you would have, for example, a chest pocket with a flap on it. You might have large patch pockets, and the actual shirt would button up like a shirt, but it wouldn't be the sort that you'd tuck in. It would be more like a jacket in its look. So it became very practical, and over time that did change. So the fabric changed from being from a cotton drill type material or a moleskin material. In the modern age, that has transgressed into wool-like materials and even fleece materials in this day and age. But they were renowned for being long-lasting and easy to move around in during the day and hard manual labour. So you can understand why they become very popular and why they became very commonplace in the working class society. Now if we skip forward in time, we see that shirt coming back again back in the 1960s, and if anybody can remember Paul Newman in a film in the 1967 period called Cool Hand Luke, you'll remember seeing that denim-like jacket which had a bellow pockets at the top, patchwork pockets and patch pockets at the bottom, and it was a jacket like very similar to a shirt in that it was buttoned up and it was open at the base like a loose jacket. That is where we see the introduction of what they call now a chore jacket. But in the 60s in California, in the surfing scene particularly, it became very, very popular in that it was great for keeping warm in the winter months, and it is historically something that stems back to when we had ranchers working in the winter months, quite harsh conditions, and so the shirt became very popular then. So when we go to the Pendleton board shirt, Pendleton's a particularly long history of making these shirts and this design, and are very popular in the States, and to this day they still make fantastic overshirts, and they are worn by a lot of people, not just working class people, but also in the casual setting as well. So when we're looking at the overshirt particularly, we can see why it would be popular. It's made of, in this day and age, the Pendleton board shirt is made of wool, very durable, very warm, and it is understandably a very good look when it's paired in the right way. In the UK, we find that if you go on the high street now, even if you go to Marks and Spencer's and other traditional shops, for example, you will see a great amount of choice, particularly in that overshirt look, and it's very popular at the moment. It's great for layering, and for example, as I said before, very easy to wear with upgrading those jeans for a pair of chinos, maybe put on a pair of chukka boots instead of working boots, maybe a pair of dealer boots, they're quite good as well. Get a pair of brogue dealer boots, not a bad look at all. But again, we could wear that roll neck jumper, put over that overshirt, nice thick wool overshirt, and you've got a great casual look. And they come in a range of colours, and I would say in this day and age that the overshirt in its strictest form under the term of an overshirt tends not to have the patchwork pockets at the bottom. Now they just seem to have the buttons, the pockets at the top, and it's a much more shirt-like construction. So you will find a button and cuff closure rather than a jacket type closure. But they're all very, very closely related. So you've got the overshirt, you've got the board shirt, you've got the chore jacket. They are all of the same in a way. They've just diversified by different companies and the way that they want to portray a particular look. But something that, whilst I don't have one, I wouldn't be adverse to getting one, especially in the cooler months. I would say that maybe once you get to full-blown winter, then you're going to be layering over that with much thicker coats, maybe a wax jacket, or you might be wearing a wool coat over that, for example a pea coat or a reefer coat, something like that, just to give you that extra layer of warmth. When it comes to the popularity of the overshirt, I can fully understand why it is so popular at the moment, and for Marks and Spencer's and traditional stores to promote the overshirt. Clearly it's here to stay for quite some time, and it is at the end of the day a very casual but easy to wear item of clothing. And I would suggest that it's a step up from wearing those typical tracky bottoms or those jeans, t-shirts and those hoodies, let alone the trainers. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give us a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe, then please feel free to do so. We have a Buy Me a Coffee page, so if you'd like to make a contribution to the channel, I'll put the link below so you can make that contribution to us. So until next time, take care.